Hello and welcome to another season of Niagara Hockey. My name is Jeremy White, here with Niagara head coach Dave Burkholder as we prepare for another season with the Purple Eagles on the ice. Season starts this weekend, pair of games against Holy Cross, so hope you'll be joining us not just this weekend against Holy Cross, but also throughout the year. Dave Burkholder here, another season. How did the off season go? Wait, much too fast? Did you think it went a lot faster than, previous off seasons? Was it a blur?
Yeah, it was a blur. I was a little busier this summer with Tim Madsen and Ed Olchuk, my two assistants, moving on. And so I ended up hiring two new coaches. So it was a busy summer, went by quick, but we're real excited to get after it here.
Yeah, roster turnover, but let's talk about that coaching staff. Ethan Morrow, we talked to him a couple weeks back on WGR in Buffalo. A veteran doesn't even do him justice. He's got so much experience in the NHL. So what does Ethan bring, and how did your previous relationship, as you coached him way back in the day, how did that factor into bringing him here to Niagara?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to coach Ethan back in the OHL with the Niagara Falls Thunder for 2 years, and he was a first-round pick with the Chicago Blackhawks, and I still say to this day, I've coached a lot of great players, but he's still the most dedicated player that I've had the luxury or privilege to coach. So we had a pre-existing relationship. When I had a staff opening, it dawned on me that Ethan had just moved back to the area, and we met over the summer. Oh boy, 6 or 7 times. He was pretty thorough in the process, and he's a perfect fit for us. You don't play 15 years in the National Hockey League and not know a lot about the game. And he was a penalty kill expert as a player. He just brings so much to the table. And more importantly, he's just a great person too. Mm-hmm. He's a family man first. And if you look at his bio, what he did in the communities that he played and lived in is just phenomenal, which is part of the Vincentian, student life here. So perfect fit, and we're excited to have Ethan on board.
My conversation with him, one of the things we asked him was if he's ready for bus rides again, because it's been so long. I mean, he played so much hockey. You go to the NHL. When you say he had a lot of questions to ask, was that like what it's like to be a coach, the lifestyle of a coach? Was he convinced he wanted to do this, and what do you think made this the right fit for him?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons. He felt that this is a coaching opportunity where you have a chance to build something special. He had numerous opportunities in the National Hockey League as an assistant and in the American League, and back in Canada in the Ontario Hockey League. So I think he liked the university community setting. College hockey was new to him. He had done the major junior in the NHL. So it's just a new challenge for him. So there were a lot of factors, I think, that went into his decision.
So maybe the most experienced coach you could ever get. How about the tallest coach, the other guy?
Yeah, Michael Findorf, a really good get for us. We're so excited. Michael he's originally from Colorado Springs, but his background is unique. Played defense at Miami of Ohio, played in 4 NCAA tournaments, played in a national championship game. But to have Ethan as a forward and Michael as a defenseman, I think it's a really good mix on our staff. Michael most recently was an assistant coach at Utica College, which is one of the top Division III programs under head coach Gary Heenan, so he's got some good experience there as well. So really pleased. They're getting along well. I think we have a lot of chemistry as a staff, which I truly believe is important, because that will seep into your locker room.
So you've made some changes on the coaching staff. Now the players that they'll be coaching, if I'm thinking back to last year, you had a lot of games you're competitive, but it seemed like for whatever reason the scoring touch, the finish wasn't there. Was adding more goals one of your big driving factors this year?
Yeah, I think as a recruiting class, we wanted to get faster and obviously bring in some offensive prowess, which we've done. If you look at our resumes of our incoming freshman class, they're all top scorers in their various junior leagues across North America. And just, our limited viewings, and again against Western Ontario, some of our freshmen were our top performers. So, we played in a lot of one-goal games that didn't go our way, and if we could score some more goals, if we flip half of those games, now we're in the middle of the league hoping to get a first-round bye. So it's really important that we pick it up in that area.
How about names that Niagara fans coming to Dwyer here should be thinking about before they even walk in the door?
Yeah, I thought Chris Spriggs has been one of our best players, not just one of our best freshmen in preseason. He showed very well. He's a freshman forward, left shot from Edmonton. Ben Soke, one of our top players in dry land, got hurt against Western Ontario. Unfortunately, he's going to be on the shelf with a broken collarbone until January, so that hurts us. But we've got a couple freshmen D that have looked really good, right shot D, and Noah Delmas and Tyler Hayes. So those guys are transition power play defensemen that have looked really good for us.
When you talk to those freshman defensemen, do you point out how often I mean, I know being around your teams for so long, you go to young defensemen, you're not afraid to. You're pretty quick to put those guys right in situations.
Yeah, we tell them in the recruiting process that, you know, this is where we see you on a depth chart. It's up to you to prove it and earn your ice time. But both of them, and then add Caleb Bowman, who's a left shot, he's been injured. But, you know, when he comes back, he's got potential power play in him as well. So, you know, these guys have earned that just with what we've seen in you know, the month of September.
So an exciting freshman class. How about the growth of the freshmen that are now sophomores and the rest of your guys that have been moved up a year?
Yeah, our sophomore class of 10 really were the backbone for us last year, but we need them all to make, you know, jumps. And, you know, there's a sophomore slump, if you will, that's been out there and has plagued numerous college athletes in all different sports. But, you know, as a group of 10, they're really strong. They're really close-knit. You know, they want to be the foundation for the class that gets us back into championship Niagara hockey, which we're used to. Right now, we have 3 of them on the line in Sean King, Tanner Lomsness, and Nick Farmer in the middle. Those 3 guys. Johnny Kern, who's very gifted offensively, needs to take the next step. And we have obviously some key guys on defense as well.
And before we wrap up, we'll switch to Atlantic hockey. The picture for Atlantic hockey, adding scholarships has to be a good sign for just about everybody on board.
Really happy with the direction of the league. You know, Niagara's committed long-term to Atlantic hockey. We're happy with what Commissioner DiGregorio and the league administrators from every school. So huge step forward for us, because there's always been a, you know, well, they're not full Division I because they don't have full scholarships, and we've gotten rid of that misnomer. So, you know, and it's going to level the playing field. You know, when we go out and play Ohio State and Penn State, when we play our non-conference game, when the Atlantic hockey champion goes in the NCAA tournament, to have a full complement of scholarship, it's going to make us better on the ice and more competitive. And
you've got a reciprocal with Ohio State. You went there. They're coming here this year, which you've got to be excited about, and a trip to Penn State as well.
It's so cool. I mean, to have those Big Ten schools and, you know, their history in other sports, but they're really good hockey schools as well. So you've been to Columbus, the Ohio State, their rink. It's phenomenal. It's a good experience. But to have, you know, Ohio State on Niagara's campus for a full weekend is pretty exciting. And then we're reciprocating last year's Penn State game. We're going to go there and play 2 games in the Pagula Ice Arena, which we haven't seen, a brand new, you know, multi-million-dollar facility that Pagula's paid for. So it's our non-conference game as always. We're really going to test ourselves.
First time ever, though, that you're not opening up with those games. You're starting Atlantic hockey with Holy Cross.
Yeah, I'm excited to do that. You know, even though we're young with 10 sophomores and 9 freshmen, Holy Cross was picked 3rd or 4th in the league preseason, which doesn't mean a lot, but that tells me they return a lot of good players, and they do. So, but for us to get a shot, especially at home, you know, we have to get our Dwyer magic back, and, you know, if we can have some success, that should really set us up for the rest of this season, this weekend.
All right, well, best of luck this season, Berkey. You can join the Purple Eagles all season down here at Dwyer Arena starting this weekend. Holy Cross in town, conference action, Niagara hockey, ready to go.